Hi, this is Rod with Custom Chronicles, and this is our next project. What we're going to do is replicate this wonderful artwork here onto the other side of the tank. The other side of the tank has no artwork on it whatsoever. We're going to get this eagle and graphics put on that tank. So let me get into it. Now, just going to move forward real quick in this video. It's hopefully informative so people can understand how this is done. Alright, now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this green tape down. I'm going to line it up here so that I can have a guideline for the measurements on the other side. And I'm just going to kind of eye this up, and then I will make adjustments as necessary. So there's that. And then I'm going to take my tracing paper right here. I'm going to mask that down. I'm going to mask it to this edge here. The paper's not as big as the graphic right here on the tail end. It's kind of just poking out a little bit. I'm not going to concern myself with that too much, but I'm going to go ahead and get this loaded up with some paper and get the tape on here so that I can get this down right here. Kind of double check. And of course the paper's manufactured flat, and I'm doing contoured surfaces. So anyways, I'll just kind of jam that down there. It's not exactly where I need it. I'm going to get that lined up. Bingo, right there. I just kind of folded that paper, trying to be hurrying, and that's not helping my cause. I'll just kind of slow it up here. Sometimes haste makes waste, and I just proved it. There's that. Here, I'm kind of working around the camera a little bit. That is not helping my cause, but that's okay. There you go. And let's see, show that here real quick. See how that is. And I got the wing, it goes all the way up. So anyways, that's basically it. This is the first stage. I'll go ahead and time-lapse tracing it out. I don't want to bore anybody with that kind of nonsense, but just to summarize, I got a baseline line, which is the green 1/8 inch tape. I got the paper butted up to it, and that's going to be how I do the measurements on the other side. I'll pull all this off, and on the other tank I'll line my line, the green line right here, and that way it matches up so this is located in the right position on the tank. And of course a little bit of eyeing up. Now I'll do some measurements up front here on basically the point of that. I'm not going to worry about the eagle's head so much, and I got it right to the edge there. I'm going to have to replicate that. I'll show how I mix the paint and all that stuff, and that's what's going to be in this video. So anyways, I am going to go to the time lapse on the tracing real quick, and then we'll go back into the more detailed stuff when we get into the painting. Alright, there it is, the outline right there. Now what I didn't do is I didn't follow these straight lines, but I did get the height of these ends, because I got to make adjustments on that on the other side, because it's contoured in two different directions and the paper is binding up. So I'll get these ends put down the right spot, and then I'll measure over, and then this way I create my straight line. Up here, that's a hand brushed in black line. So I just did the outside of the whole thing, and I did the wing here too. So you can see how that is right there. So basically I'll fill in the detail visually by looking at this and then painting on the other side. The Harley Davidson, being it goes on the other side, we're not going to do it backwards. We got to switch that over and then that back so it jibes with the other side and keeps the flow of the design. And we'll get into that. I'll show it on the other side. And here's the traced out image. I got it here. Now the problem is that Harley Davidson is backwards. So I traced out the Harley Davidson. I'm going to come in and then place the letters correctly. so that it, you know, the mirror image goes down. There it is, and I'll get that all done. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my transfer tape behind it so that I can shoot the gold right here and right here, these 3 lines, and this block pattern right here. So anyways, that's my next phase. So let me get the transfer tape on, and I will go ahead and show you the next step after that. All right, now I got the mask on here. I don't have it on the bottom yet. I'll do that after I get the image transferred over. And how I'm going to do that is with carbon paper, which I got over here. I'm not very prepared as always. I'll put the carbon paper under here and then trace that out. There's no reason for me to show that again. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you after I get it traced out so that you can see that. And what I'm going to trace out is these portions right here, which I think I already pointed out. I'm not worried about the Eagle. I'm not worried about the Harley Davidson. What I'm worried about is the first color I'm putting down, which is the gold. Now the first colors that all traced out, and that was done with the, you know, carbon paper, and tracing the image down on that. I got marked right here. That's for me to put the image back up and have it in alignment. And now I actually do not have a mark back here because well, that wasn't taped up, but it is now. So anyways, I'm going to get this cut out and then sprayed. Now I am going ahead cutting this out, and I've said it in other videos, but I'll repeat it just in case you haven't seen any. Sharp razor blade. You don't want to push down too hard and start cutting into the paint. You just want to cut the mask. That's all you want to cut. It's nice and easy. Just taking my time. Try to, when you're doing the mask, also, I've mentioned this before in other videos, is you want to have as little wrinkles as possible. Fortunately for this isn't a complete wraparound paint job, so I'm not going to be too concerned with the wrinkles. You know, I've got a pretty smooth where I'm at, and got a little bit up here where I'm cutting, but that's all I got to say. Sharp razor blade. Don't push down too hard because you don't want to cut the paint. Kind of losing focus here. And I'll go ahead and just kind of keep this rolling, pull this first section out. And this first section is going all gold. And there it is. I gotta kind of be gentle picking that up and see if I can get it to roll back. There it is. So there's the first section right there. I'll finish up the rest of it. Just a quick look here. This is all cut out. Got all those lines. Up here is done. And I'm going to go ahead and start filling in the gold, which is up here, doing this section and these lines right there. And so anyways, I'm going to keep on, you know, getting it done. I got that covered. You know, I do get a little bit of overspray from the airbrush, but not much of nothing. And there it is. I'm going to get this sprayed. Okay, here we are. I'm using an airbrush, namely because I don't want to build up the volume too heavy on the paint. That's the main reason why. And so I'm going to go ahead and just start spraying it in and getting this gold nice and even, because on the other tank it's not so solid. It's actually very thin and transparent, kind of greenish, and that's because of the black underneath. So I'm going to get that, you know, I got a couple little hot spots there. I'll get that taken care of here in a minute. Get that flowed out. You see how that's looking? It's just looking wonderful. And that's the nice thing about spraying with the airbrush sometimes, is that on these smaller things, it's easy to, you know, just kind of get it laid out and get it the way you want it and not overdo it. Get the color on just right. But if it was too much bigger, I wouldn't have done it with the airbrush. Of course, I want to layer it up. We want the paint to look good. Nice and thin. And we got the eagle going over top of the bulk of the portion I'm spraying now, which is the triangle and the wings. But there you go. That's the first round of that. And when I get done, I'll show it. And here we have it. The gold is sprayed. Looks nice and even. Very happy with it so far. So I'll start to set up my next color, which is the red, and that is going to be the Harley Davidson there. But I got to switch it because you see how that's backwards because it did a mirror image. I got to put I had to make the Harley Davidsons and relocate them. So I'll hit the tape, you know, the overall thing back down to this, and then basically just, you know, cut out the Harley Davidson there. Sorry, I'm tripping on my tongue. I can't believe it. But I'll get that laid out. Then I'll put some mask over it because it's going a different color. We don't want to get any red on the gold, except for right there. There's some red on there. Probably overspray from the original graphic. But we're going to replicate it. Get some red here too. But anyways, there it is. That's where we're at. Moving on to the next stage. Okay, today I'm going to do the shop tip of the day. This stuff, the transfer paper. If you didn't know, there's multiple colors of it. You know, the black, the white, the blue, yellow, and red. And obviously I just did the white over the black there, and that's what's giving me my eagle and helping me line everything up. So anyways, there's that, and I'm going to get moving on here. We got this all painted out, and we're going to go ahead and set up for the next portion, which is the Harley Davidson. We're going to put this down. I got to relocate letters here because it's a mirror image, and here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and get going. All right, we're covering this up here. And again, we're going to get some wrinkles of this in the very front. Got to leave these exposed because we got some red right there, and we're doing the red right here. All right, now we're pulling the tape right here. And what I've got is marked is, we'll say the plot marks. Right there and right there. So I'll come back in with my paper here, line them up, make sure I got it good lined up, press the tape, do a lousy job of filming, and then back here same thing, get them lined up right there, got it lined up. And there. All right, and there's our Harley Davidson backwards. And what we're going to do is set the lines down, the orientation lines there. And then we'll come back in with our other letters and get it oriented correctly. So there you go. Okay, and now I got this taped on here. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way here real quick. I'll slip the carbon paper in behind it right here. And what I'm doing is I'm going to orient my letters. So I'm just going to kind of just loosely draw a line right here. Oops, it bobbled right there. And right here. And that's where I'm going to sit my letters that are coming up. Let's see if I got a good mark. Pull this tape back, flip that over. You got a good mark on the top, but I can see it, sort of see it right here. And that's how I'm going to identify where this goes right here. Just like that. I'll get them taped down. I'm just going to kind of double check, make sure that's where I want it. And I'm really kind of jerking this camera around because I'm trying to do this thing. I really need to get some sort of setup for this, but every video is a challenge for me, as is. I got that taped back down, and yep, got that oriented fairly close. And so anyways, I'll just go ahead and get the letters laid out on here, and then I'll show that. Okay, the Harley Davidson's letters are now oriented. I made sure that they're straight, and did a minor adjustment, moved them up just a pinch, namely because we got the N hanging outside of the, we'll say, gold diamond there. So I had to make sure that the D was hanging outside the gold diamond there, which I got. So anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and trace these out, and then we'll keep moving forward on this. Harley Davidson's down. I got that. I'm going to go ahead and cover up my plot marks there. Got this covered up. Need to finish covering that up just to make sure. And we'll go ahead and get these cut out. All right, coat one is sprayed. Obviously, I got the letters cut out before I started spraying it. So there that is. And then we'll just do a couple more light dustings of it, get the color nice and even through everything. And then I'll remove the mask. All right, now we're going to go ahead and just get some red on here on these stripes. Sort of mimicking what was already done on the other one. And it's a little bit difficult because, well, I think it was just basically overspray. Drag out just a little bit. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it be. And we're going to get this unmasked. I got to do the border lining on the letters and keep on moving on. Okay, now I'm doing the hand painting. I'm using this little brush right here. Doing the outline of the Harley Davidson to match that there. And then I kind of got to do the drop shadowing. This individual actually used airbrush over here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do it by hand. I got to get this kind of greenish brown mix done. So anyways, I'm doing this portion right here, over here, which cleans it up, makes it look better. And so anyways, there's that. I'm just going to kind of keep going on doing it. So anyways, I just kind of start at the right, and what this does is clean up the paint job. It makes the letters pop. I'm not even filming what I'm doing here. And I'll continue to do this. Oops, I got a little boo bother there I gotta fix. It straightens everything up, but there you go. I'll go ahead and get the rest of it done, and then I will show the job when it's done, finished. All right, yeah, black outline is done. This is the brush I use right here. Probably got upside down, which is a micro mono. So anyways, I'm gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna go into the next phase of replicating this artwork right here and here. The wing and the head. Now the next step here is putting on this white transfer paper right there, and then I'll fold the eagle over on it. So hopefully I can do this. Well, I'm going to switch the camera angle here, just like that. Hopefully that's picking this up. I probably should just go ahead and fold this over first. Make sure my alignment's good, which it isn't. Right there, got that aligned. Back here, I'm not really worried about. See, right there the image goes over, so I'll slip this in behind. Just like that. And that's how we're going to transfer the image over, I hope. We'll find out if it works or not. That's for sure. I probably need to move the camera over here to this side, so you see what I'm doing right here. Tracing the eagle head down. And this is how we're replicating. It's essentially just copying what the other person did. Right there, I gotta follow that back. And mind you, this is going to be just a rough guideline, that's all it is. This will be the brown, and that'll be the white. And let's see how that came out. There it is. A little bit of residue up there too. And then I'll switch over here to that. Just kind of double check my placement here. And then I should be pretty much on line. I can make some adjustments as I go too. And see how I'm getting it down there. At this point, I can unmask everything and see how good of a job I've done with my alignment and all that stuff, because I may have to make some adjustments. But I've been double checking, triple checking everything along the way, so it should be good, I hope. There's that. See how it came out. There it is. Right on cue. Right there. A little funky there, but I'll clean all that stuff up. So I can remove this here and kind of show everything there. There's the eagle head. Kind of right there in the light. And right there. And there's the transfer. There it is there. So I'll replicate off of that. That's why it's there, so I can look at it. And here we go. Okay, I just added in that line and the, I guess, dividing line in here. So we're going to move on. I got to do the drop shadows. And I got the paint mix, which is kind of an olive green-ish. I'm going to kind of make it a little bit more brown, and then we're going to start getting into hand painting, because as I look at this, that's what it was done, how it was done. So anyways, I'm going to keep moving on. I'll get the camera going on this and the other side here. Okay, the first color I'm going to do is yellow, because I'm left-handed, I'm starting from the extreme right. So I'm going to go ahead and get the beak filled in here. And hopefully I don't butcher this up too much. I got the bottom here to reference as well, or the bottom portion here. Okay, that is done, and now mind you, I'm trying to kind of match it up to that. Colors are going to be a little bit brighter. They're not sun bleached in any way, shape, or form. And also, I don't know exactly what they use, so I'm doing the best I can with what I got. And so anyways, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to stick to that. And I got to do the red next and the black. So I'm going to switch brushes to a smaller brush now, and then I will put in those details. There it is. I blobbed the red in there. I'm going to do one little thing to the beak, and then I'm moving on. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is start spreading the white. I got to be very careful with this. You know, I didn't have the same brushes that this other person had on the other artwork, so I'm going to try to replicate it. I did switch to a different type of fiber in the brush, hoping that helps. But I also need to dilute out the paint, because they had very weak or over diluted paint, probably to create more of the feather effect. But I'll get it. I'm not too pressed. I'm just going to do my thing here and make it the best I can. I'm filming absolutely nothing. The paper. There we go. And so I may switch brushes too and get this paint loaded in there a little bit, get it going, and then switch brushes so I can mat it out more. But there you go. Okay, I got the kind of greenish color here. I'm going to tone that down here with some more we'll say a lighter, more brownish color, but I'm going to get that, and plus we got red to put in there, and we can see it's greenish here too. So anyways, there's that. I'm going to come in and start filling in the wings here now. So that's I'm going to do the fill in first, and then we'll come back and do the outline. So I'm going to try to replicate this as best I can. Obviously I don't have the same tools that this person had, literally identical, even with the same brush. But let's see, I'm going to go ahead and get this filled in right here. Let's see, adjust the camera a little bit. Right here, just kind of start bringing in some strokes. Hopefully it's coming in. it's coming in on the camera or not, but I'm gonna keep on going. Get this job done here real quick. I can edit out the stuff I don't think is good. Okay, there's the first portion right there. Take a gander, start getting the fill in. I'm going to hit the put more body in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll get the camera back on when I do the next color. Okay, I got my brush fixed up here, and I've got to be relatively quick in doing this. So I'm just bringing in the feather outlines here, and I'm going to come back in and do some more adjusting as necessary, because I am replicating somebody else's artwork, and so I'm going to try to mimic what they were doing as closely as possible. And my paint's drying up, so anyways, that's where I'm at on that. I'm just kind of getting through this here. At this feather right here. Get up here. Had to get some paint loaded up in the brush. I need to mix some more paint. Boy, this one's problematic at getting finished. Hopefully I'm video in the right spot. Well, you can see how that's coming out. Got to mix some more paint. Okay, quick glimpse at the eagle's wing. Right there. Right here, I got the red mixed in. You got the eagle head there. Last thing I got to do is drop shadows. I got to replicate the drop shadows from there. I'm going to be using the greenish color because that's what's on there as well. And so I'm going to get into doing that. Okay, got my brush loaded up, and I'm just going to go ahead again, start at my farthest to the right, and I'm replicating what they've done over there. It's not going to be 100%, but we're just doing basically over reduced green, which is kind of what they had there. Let's go ahead and hit the bottoms here. It's very subtle. And they, for some reason or other, have a fill-in right behind here. Guess we got drop shadows from both sides. And you got one right in here. Pick up the brush. And then one on the other side of the A. Got one right in the H, and then down in the H here to it ties into the bottom. And fill that back up in there, just like that. Touch that back up, you shouldn't have mess with it. Over here. Same thing. Hopefully my fingers aren't in the way. Right there. Underneath the O. Underneath the S. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up. I'll show it at the end. Okay, there we go. Drop shadows added in. Try to make them similar to that also. So we're just a quick glimpse at it here. Choking on my tongue. But I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up, get all the white off of here. But I'm not going to do that right away. I'm going to let the paint set up and dry real good before I start rubbing on it and whatnot, and trying to clean that up before I do clear. But there we go. I'm real happy with the results. And that's all I got to say about it right now. We're just going to get it in clear and get this job finished up. All right, this is kind of concluding up this little video segment here. Here's the tank all finished up. Got it all polished out, and there's the original tank there. If you like this kind of content, do me a favor, please subscribe to the channel. It helps enormously. Leave a comment, and well, we're going to do a little add-on to this video, hopefully. And there you go. Replicating custom graphics that somebody else did. It's not exactly 100% perfectly identical, but it's in the ballpark.